Good morning, peoples. It's Tuesday and it's 10 o'clock and it's already 80 degrees and it rained a whole bunch last night and it's so muggy, but whatever, that's part of lawn care. We're gonna do what we gotta do. About 10 days ago, 11 days ago, I actually pinched a nerve right here in this big nerve cluster on my neck. It really sucks. And the week before I pinched the nerve in my neck, I actually was getting really, it was like 2 weeks where I was just drained. I had no motivation to move. I felt like crap all day. I had so much brain fog, and I literally felt like a dumpster, you guys. It's been a nightmare, you guys. Also, a few weeks ago, my wife got fired from her job. But yeah, she was there for 8.5 years, and then they just let her go. Something about they lost like $600,000 this month or something like that. And she was one of the higher paying employees there. Most of the employees, just like everywhere else we live, they pay like $15 to $16 an hour, and she was making like $22.50 or something like that. So they were like, let's let her go and save ourselves a bunch of money, and they did. And my wife has been out here every single day, you know, nonstop, trying to find a job, trying to do interviews. And people these days, like, they want you to be a general manager and work weekends and nights for $15 an hour. It's so crazy, you guys. The jobs out here are just, I mean, there's jobs out here, don't get me wrong, but it's a waste of time because they don't pay nowhere near what you need to, like, rent an apartment or live anywhere. It is absolutely crazy. 80 degrees out today, you guys. Got a bunch of yards to do. I haven't been making YouTube videos lately because all that stuff, but on top of that, I don't want to bore you guys. You know, I don't want to just make a video just for the sake of making a video. Like, I want to make a video that gives you guys something to gain from. There's a lot of people out there that just make YouTube videos about nothing. I'm no longer going to be filming myself while I'm mowing, unless you guys are like really requesting it, but I doubt it. I've asked a lot of people and I've talked to people that watch my videos, and it's just boring. Like, I don't want to watch anybody on a lawnmower. I want people to give me tips and tricks and the know-hows, and I want to give you guys some actual knowledge and some feedback to help you grow your business, or if you're thinking about starting a business. But yeah, there was a lot of momentum before my wife got fired. Things were really just picking up and moving forward and all that, and it has just come to a complete halt. But of course, that had to happen, and I had to get sick, and I had to pull pinch a nerve in my neck on top of all of that, because I'm strong, and I swear God tests me as much as he possibly can. But with that being said, I'm going to go pick up Dakota, and we're going to keep going. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. If you got nothing but negative stuff to say in the comments, don't waste your time. I'm just going to remove it. I'm not even going to entertain it. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to reply to it. I'm just going to delete it. So literally, don't waste your time. I get all the notifications for all the comments that come straight to my phone, and I read every single one of them. If it's negative in any way, shape, or form, it just gets removed. If you have something smart to say, it just gets removed. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be, you know, a butt about it, but there's a lot of people out here that are going through a lot of stuff, including me, and we just don't have time for that. Take the negativity elsewhere. Actually, don't take it elsewhere. Just get rid of it. Life's too short to be negative. We need to come together. We need to work together. We need to build a nice, big old community. There's too much division in our world right now, especially our country. Everybody's divided, and we need to stand together, and we need to come together and work together. So help each other out. There's no need for gloating. There's no need for saying that you're better than this person. If there's something that you know that can benefit me or the viewers on this video, leave a comment. Help a brother out. I'm not perfect at this by any means. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, also on that note, I got rid of a few clients. I had every bi-weekly that I had is gone now. I think I had 2 more that I had to get rid of, and they're gone. Also, I got rid of that lady, you guys know what lady I'm talking about. I got rid of her. I actually called her up. She didn't answer. Then I left her a text message, and she didn't answer. I think she was a little PO'd. But I didn't think it was worth, you know, dealing with her. So I just simply, you know, left her a nice message and I said, good luck, have fun, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, so I'm in a bit of a pickle right now because I don't do snow removal, and kind of curious of what you guys would think would be a good idea for the winter time. Last year I went and got myself a job which completely destroyed everything I had going on. I actually missed out on like thousands of dollars, probably $30,000 worth of leaf cleanups. I don't know if it was 30,000, but it was up there. It was thousands of dollars. It was, you know, it was the entire month of November, because on October we got like 1.5 feet of snow on Halloween for some stupid reason, and it actually took down all kinds of trees, all kinds of branches, all in my neighborhood. So I was getting phone call after phone call after phone call for me to come out and clean up their branches. And then all of a sudden all the snow stopped. The weather went back up to like the 40s and 50s, or 50s and 60s. All the leaves started falling, and I had already went and got a job because I thought the season was going to be done. I thought we were done with it, and I didn't know what else I was going to do. And I had a really good opportunity to go in and get a job and make like $23 an hour, and it was right next to my house. So I went and got that job, and then all of a sudden 3 weeks later they texted me and said, hey, we don't need you anymore. They actually hired another kid like days after me. And then they found out that I had a lawn care business, and I told them, I said, it's you know, it's going to be a temporary position. So they didn't like that. So they got rid of me, hired him. They paid him $18 an hour. So of course, you know, they went with him instead of me, but whatever. That's what I did last year. And I also remodeled my house, and we added about $70,000 in value to our home. But I'm curious, like, I don't really know what to do. It sucks because I don't want to go work for somebody else just for a couple of months and then quit and go do lawn care again in the spring/summer. But I also don't have the means of doing snow removal myself. And also last year, there was like no snow removal to be done. A lot of people lost a lot of money because they bought a bunch of rock salt and they never even used it. Some people have contracts, which is really nice, but I don't have any commercial clients right now that are contracted for any of that. And I also don't even have a snowplow. So I was thinking about maybe getting a snowblower and signing up some of the clients that I had for snow removal. But like I said, last year, the people only went out 3 or 4 times to remove snow, and I need to be more active than that. So I'm going to be thinking about what I can do, something I can do, maybe, you know, anything really. But if you guys have any questions, concerns, if you want to say a prayer for my poor neck, I'd really appreciate it. But I'll see you guys in just a minute. All right, peeps, we got ourselves a situation. One of my clients right here has got tons of sprinkler damage. I mean tons, like we're talking 3-4 heads. I haven't done a full inspection on it yet, but from my previous experience from doing irrigation is that it's a valve or 2 valves, because when the system is on, all the sprinklers are trying to spray at the same time. So we'll figure that out. But I wanted to show you guys this yard. Now that Dakota's being loud, stripes are not the most important thing when it comes to lawn care, you guys. There's a lot of people out there I see talking about stripe this and stripe that, and stripes are important. Yes, it makes the yard look great. But if you could see the client's house that I just left like 20-25 minutes ago, same lawnmower, same height, same size yard pretty much, and they water it occasionally, and they never use any fertilizer or seed or weed killer or anything like that, and you can barely see the stripes. So don't get too caught up in stripes, people. Yeah, like I said, they look good, and I mean, every single time you cut a yard, you want to cut stripes into it. You don't want to just do circles and go all willy-nilly all over it, but you definitely want to make sure that you're striping. But yeah, this one, so I'm gonna have to take this bush out. They told me to, so I'm gonna have to charge for that. But you can see 2 of the valves, and I looked around the rest of the house and I haven't seen any other valves. Normally I would do this job for like $300 or something, replace 2 valves and like 4 heads, $300. No, I'm not doing that anymore, you guys. I can't keep being charity, and that's what it's come down to lately, is doing a lot for a little. But yeah, that looks like it's the only valve. They left their dogs here. Hi, buddy. It's a big dog. Held back by just that screen. No thank you. But yeah, valves are not difficult, you guys, and they're not expensive. I think it costs like 13-14 bucks per valve, and if you can get to them, like if they're on the side of the house like this one is, and they're easy to spot, that's awesome. But I've had a couple of occurrences a few different times where the valves was actually out in the middle of the yard, and I had to go pick up one of those little metal detector wand type deals to find the valves, which it's not the most difficult thing in the world, but if you don't have one, you have to go rent it. I go to SiteOne and they just give it to me for free, as long as I bring it back within a reasonable amount of time, because I think they only have one of them and a lot of people use it. So here we are. We're gonna have to figure this out, and I just realized the water shutoff is not anywhere around here. Crap. Oh boy. And it ain't out here. Typically isn't. It's typically by the water heater, and that ain't out here. So we got ourselves a little pickle. But at least I know what I'm looking for. I'll just go unbury those valves, take a picture of them, and then go pick them up after I give them a price. I'm pretty sure they're just gonna go with whatever. But yeah, that sucks. Stay tuned, guys. I'll see you in just a minute. Holy shiitake mushrooms, you guys. It is hot. Dakota just walked by me. He's blowing off the sidewalks and he was dripping. And I know I'm dripping. And I'm feeling foggy. I've been drinking my water though, but dude, we've only been at it for, I don't know, 4 hours probably. And we took a lunch break, but yeah, it's hot. Like Dakota is sweating. You guys gotta be, I just got done using the push mower too, so that was terrible. But you gotta be careful out here in this heat, you guys. Especially if you're rolling solo and you pass out in someone's backyard or something. Yeah, you don't want all that. Be careful, drink your fluids. You know, it's hot. If you could get like some coconut water, even if you don't like the coconut water, just, you know, half and half it with some other water or whatever. But get those electrolytes, you guys, and stay away from the Gatorades and the energy drinks and all that crap too, because that'll just dehydrate you even faster. And yeah, stay hydrated. It's hot. It says it's 80, but my thing's probably, yeah, it's 84, but it's so humid. It's hot, and the sun is out, and the heat index is, I think, like 6 or 7. It's brutal. And we're like, you can't really tell, but just on the other side of them sheds, there's a little road, and the Lake Michigan's on that side. Usually it's a little bit cooler out here because we're so close to the lake. And I know some of you guys are like, "Why, you live on the lake?" I do. For the last 30 years, I've lived 15 minutes away from this lake. At one point, I had an apartment complex that was right down the road from that lake. It's nothing too crazy. I might take you guys out there one of these days, because some of you probably never seen it. It looks like an ocean. You can't see the other side. It's huge. It's a big lake, like no joke. It's massive. And where I live, we have a huge stretch of lakefront for our county, our town, or whatever you want to call it. It's miles. I mean, we have a massive stretch. But the weird thing is not that many people come to it. Grand Haven, on the other hand, which is just south of where I'm at, they have a very small strip of Lake Michigan, but there's people down there like crazy. they've got restaurants and like little pop-up corn dog shacks, and they have big events. They got Coast Guard down there in the summer, which I think it's coming up here towards the end of August. For those of you that don't know what Coast Guard is, I would get on YouTube, which you are right now, and I'd look up Coast Guard. It should be Grand Haven, Michigan, Coast Guard, and you guys, it's freaking nuts. Very sad story. 2 years ago, there was a 13-year-old that was out there, and he was swimming, and he ended up, he didn't make it. The waves were insane. My wife and I were down there for something, I don't remember what it was, but we just happened to look over, and there was like 3 or 4 Coast Guard choppers, and I mean, like, they were 20 feet off the water, you guys. It was crazy. And there was a huge, maybe like 50-60 people all holding arms like to their elbows, like locking each other in, and they were sweeping the water in and out. And about, I think it was like 2 hours later, 3 hours later, something like that, they actually found his body, and they said it was like in Wisconsin or something like that. It was just like really far away. And in just 3 hours, that's how far his body got, which was so sad. And it happens all the time, you guys. There's a huge pier down there that people jump off all the time, and right in front of that pier there's a huge stone that has a bunch of names on it, and this list is full of people who have jumped off that pier, and the tide literally either took them out and they drowned, or the tide just smashed them right up against the pier, and it happens all the time. It's so crazy. Like, Lake Michigan takes bodies. It does. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Dakota's been here his whole life. You were born in Muskegon, weren't you? Yeah, Dakota's been here his whole life too. It's so crazy. You would think that we go to that beach quite often, but Dakota and I got little pools in our backyard. We'd rather go in those bad boys. And it's a massive beach. I don't think I've ever seen it in my 30 years completely packed. Most of the people park like by the pier or whatever where there's parking, but that beach is, I mean, it's huge. It's probably 300-400 feet from the road all the way up to the lake for most of it, and then there's some spots it's only like maybe 60 feet off the road, 70 feet off the road, but it's a monster lake. But like I said, it's very dangerous. One of these days I'll have to show you guys. We'll have to drive over there. Actually, we're heading like right there right now. I could just show you guys what it looks like. I don't know if it's wavy or anything. It don't feel like a breeze out there, does it? It's hot. All right, I'll get to the next one. Regardless of how hot it is outside, Dakota and I are busting these properties out. It's 4 o'clock right now. We just got done with our 7th property. So we got done with 7, and I did 2 before I went and picked up Dakota. So I already got 9 properties done today. And also we stopped for like maybe 10-15 minutes and grabbed some food. And I took a look at that sprinkler system for that one of my clients. And update on that, that's going to be expensive. So I was going through the cycles. There's 6 zones in there, and there's 6 valves for the whole system, and the wiring was burnt on some of them. For some reason, the lids were not even on them. They were just out there completely exposed. So I'm assuming they filled up with water, had some shortage problems or something, but they're not opening and closing like they're supposed to. They're pretty much stuck open. As I was cycling through all of the zones, they were all just spurting, like they were dribbling water out of the top. I'm just gonna go through and replace all her valves for her. They're extremely old hunters too. They're probably 10 years old at least. And so I have to do 6 valves. They're 2 or 3 of them are pretty easy to get to. The other 3 are stuck behind a big old bush in the front yard, which sucks. It's going to be very difficult to get in there with a shovel and dig those out. But it looks like she's got about 4 or 5 heads that need to be replaced too. So I don't know about you guys, how much you would charge for all this. So you're talking about $160 just in material alone. And Dakota and I were out there digging them up, and it was a pain because they're under a whole bed of rocks and there's that weed barriers on there too. So it was a pain. I'm gonna tally it up and try to figure out how much. Typically I charge about $45 a head, but this is gonna be, you know, a good 2 hours of work probably, at least, even with 2 of us. So we're already at $200 just for that alone. Yeah, so this is probably going to be a $500–600 job at least. I don't know if they're going to pay it. I don't know if they're going to want to do it. But what I am going to let them know is if you call somebody else out here to do that exact same thing and replace that stuff and fix that stuff, it's going to cost a whole lot more than $600. There's people out here in my area that are charging anywhere between $100 and $150 for one head replacement. It's crazy. All right, that's gonna be it for today's video, you guys. You know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. You got any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.